right. Good morning and welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing 4. Are you ready for this March 14th, 2026? Bro, it has been insane. Today we have some exciting news. We have a new sponsor that's come on board for Drag Drive Repeat. I'm really excited about what this is going to mean for the community. I'm excited about what this is going to mean for just knowledge, bro. I mean, like you and I were talking about this before the show. It's going to be awesome to see that. That's going to be coming up in about, what, 8 minutes, Eric, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then more registrations are opening. So I'm tired of hearing the excuse of, I didn't get in. So, Mr. Eric White, will you please hit that intro video and let's do this thing this morning?
All right, let's go.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm excited about this, guys. Again, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing for March 14th. Today's going to be a good episode. We're going to have it, dude. There's so much notes down here that people are waiting on. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one. So get comfortable, get your coffee, get your Mio energy drink here, whatever you drink in the morning. C4, what do you? Yeah, C4. Whatever you got going on, do that because today's beautiful here in Arkansas. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be outside a lot today. I'm gonna mow and then I'm gonna work on the old truck because I'm taking it over to Tulsa tomorrow. So, guys, my name is Mike Knox. I'm the host of this and the show that happens on Wednesday nights. And my right hand man, one of the busiest guys you'll ever meet, Mr. Eric White. Tell him what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news. Lately, I've been saying it, but it is all artwork. So artwork for the circuit. Artwork dropped for an event that I helped with yesterday, which was super awesome. So Conquer the Concrete for Thunder Valley Raceway Park. Mark Sorensen, if you've seen that, that's some artwork that I made. Super excited about that. Came out awesome. Got more stuff working with Mark coming out. And some artwork for our announcement coming up very soon. So lots and lots of artwork. Super exciting. It's always a ton of fun. I love creating that stuff.
Dude, it's so cool to see. Like, I was going through some photos the other day of looking just back on stuff, trying to find a photo for a guy that was asking questions, right? I'm like, man, I think I took a photo of that car. So going back through, it was the blue Chevette from Midwest Drags.
Yep.
Going back through, looking for the videos and stuff like that. And man, just how far we've come in our editing and artwork and all that stuff. It's been pretty wild. It's been pretty wild, to say the least. Well, guys, speaking of race car friends, Rich Guido, they're making comments here this morning. I want to say thank you guys so much. Yesterday was crazy. We were both very, very busy. Eric obviously has a day job, and then I'm peppering him with stuff all day, dude. I think I probably sent you 10 messages yesterday just on stuff we have coming up. And as I'm like last night getting ready for bed, I'm just going down through like the comments, the likes, the shares, all the stuff from the week, and it's nuts, man. And it's crazy to think that the group of people that follow us are so awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for being our race car friends. We really appreciate you guys so much for doing that. And we can't do this without you guys. I mean, truly. And we couldn't make all of this stuff happen without our sponsors. So if you're shopping, please hit these guys up: Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Deech Works, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, and Car Change 3D. Y'all, that's enough to almost build a full car right there.
Right.
And
For sure.
We're going to add another one here in just a few minutes that will definitely help you go faster. I promise you that. All right. Summit Racing, you guys know they are our title sponsor here at the show and the news, but also for the Circuit 2026. And have been since the Circuit 2023. So we appreciate them for all they do for us here at the brand. And we're going to let Brian Loans tell you about how awesome they are.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because Built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Dude, one day, hey, you know what? I was actually looking at an episode. You sent me one the other day. You sent me the, was it 3 years ago? We had Rich Guido and Keith Turk on.
Yep.
That kind of sparked a little bit of dive there. And we had Brian Loans on the next episode after that. We've had Brian on. It probably makes twice now that we've had him on. We need to have him back before drag week because, man, we need to get some good old school stories and hear some of that early day stuff. So big shout out to Summit and Brian Loans, of course, for that sweet buttery voice. Well, while you're shopping at Summit, grab your Drag Drive Repeat Summit branded merch. You got hoodies and hats and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. They made a post. Did I put a photo in here? Oh, I didn't. All right, we'll go back to this one right here. So they put a post in there about the weird cars, weird post. Been a long time since they've done what they call it, Freaky Friday or something like that. But
Free for all Friday.
Free for all Friday, man. There was some fun stuff in there. Like Kanan Hall posted up the Willie's truck. I posted the cart, of course. You posted. Did you post both your cars in there?
Yep. Yeah, because I saw it like as soon as it went up. Had just got up and was scrolling and then saw it that it was just posted. I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. If you guys don't know, I mean, Eric has a LS swap stick shift 240SX convertible, badass car that he needs to drive more. Hint, hint. And then a Mustang, obviously a Fox body Mustang we're building for drag and drive here. So twin turbo, 6 liter, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the car's going to be awesome. We're going to, I'm trying to slow him down and go 10-0 racing first so we can see how hard that is. And then, of course, that car is going to be definitely capable of some mid 8-second runs. So,
for sure.
Yeah. So jump over to Summit, look at all that stuff, see what they got going on. Dude, let's talk about this Drag Drive Repeat update, the big announcement. I said in 8 minutes. I was close.
Right on.
So this is something we've been working on. We always love to announce new sponsors. This is really cool because the folks that we typically work with folks we always work with are brands that help the drag and drive community, one, either go faster or have a better experience or do better things, all that kind of stuff. Well, you can't get a better story than the folks over at Low Dollar Motorsports. That's right. They are our newest sponsor for Drag Drive Repeat. And y'all, after talking to Brandon for like probably 30 or 40 minutes yesterday on the phone, dude, I can't wait to have him back on and him tell the early story. You know me, I'm an entrepreneurial minded person. I love that early story when you have a job and you're doing something on the side and how hard it is and you get 4 hours of sleep a night. I love those stories, and his is truly awesome. I mean, and it's taken us from him doing all of that stuff to now Low Dollar Motorsports and all the cool stuff, and a 2,400 mile road trip in a 7-second car. Like, does it get any cooler than that?
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either. So he's going to be on the show 4/15. So we've got about a month, which is crazy. Our stuff is booked out for till mid-May right now with guests and all that kind of stuff. So he'll be on. We talked about things from early days to what they have planned in the future. It's going to be really, really cool. And one thing that he wants is just he loves the drag and drive community because it's helped him produce products just that next level better, right? Because if you're driving your car all the time, that's a lot of additional wear and tear on parts and sensors and all that kind of stuff. So he was really talking about how that has changed over the last, 3 to 5 years, and how many events are now and how many people come to them and go, hey, I need more data. Basically, I need more info. I need all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun. They are actually going to sponsor the new feature.
Right up your alley.
Oh, dude, I love this right here. Daily Burnouts, brought to you by Low Dollar Motorsports. So every day you're going to get a new burnout with their logo there in the bottom. And guys, I can't ask you enough. Please go over, support them. tell them thank you for being a part of, one, the Drag and Drive community, but then two, a part of us here at Drag Drive Repeat. We really appreciate them. And this sponsorship will help us make things happen, which is what we need to do, which, I can't say it enough. Without our sponsors, we couldn't do all this fun stuff. And so glad and just, man, really, to be honest, proud to have Low Dollar Motorsports on with us here at Drag Drive Repeat. Plus, people get burned, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And data is right up your alley. So when you talk about more data, that's you.
That was one of the conversations we talked about, was when nerds get into cars, right? Is like how much that can benefit the community, benefit cars, all that kind of stuff. So he said if car guys now were car guys back in like the 40s and kind of had the thought processes we have now, and he said they'd be rocket scientists, man. Literally, they would be rocket scientists, because guys now are pretty smart, man. They've got it figured out, and these cars that are going really fast and on the street, dude, that's like next level stuff. So, man, thanks again to them. Appreciate them for being involved.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's talk about some circuit updates. Circuit 2026 coming. Cheap Car Challenge popping off, dude. Popping off. So I figured we would feature a couple of the cars that are going to be in there. If you guys don't know, the $3,000 budget Cheap Car Challenge, kind of put together by Casey Matthews. This is going to be a blast. Now, we don't have a ton of cars, and it's funny when we post something about the Cheap Car Challenge, how many people get fired up and start talking about stuff. And the one thing that's come up the most has been the claimer rule. Like, how do you make sure people stay in line? And so we're definitely putting in a claimer rule for 2027, but there's not one for this year. But they've got a great way around it. So if you have questions, you want to get involved, hit it up. I actually had somebody message me yesterday wanting to get in this as well. So I thought we would feature some of the cars that are coming along to this. The car on the left there is Jason King's. He says, can we go 12s for $1,200? That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, but I'll blow it up trying. That's what we like. That's the kind of stuff we want to hear about. And then this is the next photo he posted, which is carbon fiber, or rust is lighter than carbon fiber, right?
Weight reduction for sure.
Wow. Yeah. So pretty awesome. Apparently he bought 2 of these cars, going to put one together, make it, a running driving car. So that should be pretty fun. And then, of course, car on the left, Red Hat Scotty, one of our favorite people in all of Drag and Drive, with Doo-Doo Brown, the wagon brown Fairmont that I don't know who would have bought this car back in the day, but now I love it because it's ugly. So he calls it Doo-Doo Brown. This thing is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And it's basically just a hodgepodge of parts he had laying around in a car that he already had, which is exactly what we want out of this Cheap Car Challenge. That's what it should start as, right? And then you should do what Nico Christoferi has done and take your $1,200 budget car and turn it into a $12,000, well, probably $20,000 10-second street car that you can drive anywhere. Bucket list mob. I can run 12s for $25,000. And then on the right side, Brandon Hayes, man, dude has the whole front end out of this car. I think he's upgrading for safety, in air quotes there. Tubular A-arms are way safer than stamped factory A-arms. It's just a safety thing. It's like Tom Bailey with the, as much nitrous as we're going to run, we need a big block. It is safety. That type thing. So Brandon's car is going to be pretty cool. It's got a small block Ford in it that it was absolutely trash. So he's getting a different small block Ford, and now he's talking about putting a turbo on it. So should be pretty fun. Again, a guy that has man, do you remember the burnout that he did in Galena in the F-150 truck and then the bullnose F-150? Now he's got this car. So again, Nico Christoferi all over again. It's going to be the Nico game now. Buy a cheap car, build it, and then keep building it because it's so much fun.
Oh, yeah. I dig it for sure.
Oh, yeah. So big time fun. All right, sir. That's our circuit updates for this week. Why don't we talk about some driven racing oil?
All right, let's go.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Oh, yeah. And DDR10 gets you that 10% discount on anything on Driven Oil's website. So drivenracingoil.com. Head over there, use code DDR, and save yourself a little bit of money.
For sure.
So coming up on Wednesday night, Mike's birthday Wednesday night. So we're gonna have to celebrate. Like, are we gonna get everybody to sing to you, or what's that?
Oh, dude, that's a great idea. I think Jay Blanchard, if you're watching this, you have to sing me happy birthday. I'm just kidding. But everybody in the comments can definitely. I'll be 45, dude.
Dang.
And then my mom texts me. She like knows the craziest stuff, but she texts me. She goes, "I didn't realize your birthday was on Wednesday. You were born on a Wednesday. Dude, I don't remember that kind of stuff about my own kids."
Right. So we're going to have Jay Blanchard on of J-Wire Solutions and Nate Prater of Streetcar Bragging Rights. So we've been talking a bunch about drag and drive racers going to streetcar bragging rights every day. I see more and more of their artwork popping up of different drag and drive racers. So that'll be a fun conversation for sure.
Rich Guido said he don't remember 45.
All right. So then we've got Pistons in the Pine. So I was doing a little looking yesterday, and it looks like their website and registration is working the way they anticipated. So registration will open tomorrow for Pistons in the Pines. $300 for registration. This is July 23rd through 25th at Fernald Field Dragway to New Oxford Dragway and back to Fernald Field Dragway. Again, these are all in Maine. So if that is in your area, we haven't had too many events in that Northeast area. Be prepared tomorrow. Pistons in the Pines. Registration will open.
Man, this is going to be a good one. Me and Brian have been talking, and dude, he's excited. He's hosted several events in the past, but never a drag and drive. But he has been on a Super Street Big Block Power Rider, and he won that class as a co-pilot just a few years ago at Drag Week. So pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So as you talked about on the intro, events needing to get into, people saying that they can't get into an event. So this is one that's opening tomorrow, and these next few I'm featuring are ones that still have spots available. So if you didn't get into something, here are some other events, and I'm sure there's more, but these are just a few that I grabbed. So Drop the Hammer has spots available. This is May 29th through 31st. So here coming up in just a couple months, that is Mid-Michigan Motorplex to Northern Michigan Dragway and back to Mid-Michigan Motorplex. So again, Michigan area, if you are in that area looking for an event, this one still has spots available. Also, Buckeye Skips has spots available. I'm going to say it was somewhere around 20 spots that they still had left. This one is June 29th through July 3rd. Coonley to Durana, back to Coonley. Again, this is an Ohio-based drag and drive event. And then over on the right there, we've got Dragway Rush. There's about 156 cars registered for that. I think they had a 200-car limit there, so still spots available. This one's August 19th through 22nd. St. Thomas Dragway, Grand Bend Motorplex, and Toronto Motorsports Park. So again, these are Canadian events, which we know there's plenty of Canadians that are into drag and drive because we had our Canadian invasion just a few weeks ago. So again, if you're in that area, these are events that still have openings. And then Wild West Dragon Dash. This one is about 155 cars registered. I think they said they had 20 spots left. So this one's October 21st through 24th, starting out at Concho Valley in Texas, going to Hobbs Airfield Speedway in New Mexico, then to Penwell Knights Raceway in Texas, and back to Concho Valley. So again, roughly 20 spots open for this one as well.
That's awesome for them.
And East Coast Drag and Drive has spots available, so I am adding that in the notes right now.
Yeah, so definitely an opportunity to get to some drag and drives.
Yes.
So
Yes. There's
don't be
plenty.
whiny about that stuff. Get in there, get signed up. And here's the deal: like, we know there are top tier level events that everybody wants to be in, but I'll tell you this much: if you just get into some of these, that will satisfy just a little bit of that urge. So don't waste another year because you didn't get into, insert event here. Get into some of these other events. Help support the community. Help support these promoters that are taking hundreds of hours out of their life and thousands of dollars out of their bank account to put these on.
Yeah, and these events we're talking about are, 175 to 200 car max. You're
Yep.
going to have a lot more time on the track. You're going to have a lot more of a personal experience. You're going to have fun doing these smaller weekend style events. So again, just like you're saying, don't skip out on these smaller events just because you didn't get into a week-long event. Hit up a couple of
Yep.
these weekends events.
Yep. Because right now, I'm gonna say it. You're a bitch if all you do is complain about not getting into an event and don't show up to one of these. That's all I'm saying.
Lay it down.
Laying it down.
All right. And then some new news that just came out was the Speed Fest, which is the crossover between, what is it, Sick, Streetcar Bragging Rights, and what was the other one?
Streetcar Takeover.
Streetcar Takeover. Yep. So a big kind of a combined event there. They are having a DYO class, which is something that just got announced. Again, this one is Beach Bend Raceway in Bowling Green, Kentucky, May 28th through 30th. And you can see the rules over there on the right-hand side for the DYO class. So kind of a couple things that you and I were talking about. Do you think this is going to add interest from either the Streetcar Takeover or the Streetcar Bragging Rights groups of racers? And is it going to bring in some of those bracket racers as well?
Dude, I think it will. I don't know why it wouldn't. I think this is a good move on their part. The DYO stuff, I've said it since they announced it. It's a great way to bring those folks in that aren't going to run at the very front of another class. They can take this DYO stuff and run it. And what's really cool is I guess I had not paid attention enough. I mean, I knew there was going to be a little bit of drive stuff in this, but it's 100-mile street drive, takes place after the first session. So that's pretty cool too. Kind of a fan of that.
Yep. And I don't know if you see that towards the bottom there, top 10 in DYO are going to get Sick Week wild cards. That's
cool.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Top 5 are going to get $1,000 in giant checks, and the winner is going to get a Sick orange helmet. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's great to see the Sick team take on and do these events like this, man. I love this idea. And again, just growing and growing and growing the community.
Yeah, I think this is going to be good because the Streetcar Takeover people, we obviously know Jeremy Ortiz is one that races in there, drag and drive racer. We've talked about all the ones at Bragging Rights that are drag and drive racers. So just putting those racers in front of non-drag and drive racers today and having to go on those drives, and I don't know, I don't see how it couldn't bring in a couple more people to the drag and drive community.
Well, right. And then at the same time, like when I'm telling you, when everybody leaves to go on that 100-mile drive, like all of those other dudes that are in race cars are going to be like, I want to do that.
Right.
I want to go cruise with my race car friends. So
to a route stop where you get to hang out and, exactly. So yeah, this will be cool. So again, Speedfest DYO class is coming, so keep your eye out for that.
That's, man, good catch there, dude.
So that puts us, again, 50 events on the Drag and Drive calendar. You can find that full schedule at dragdriverepeat.com/event list-2026. Again, that will be in the chat, but you've got the interactive map so you can visually see what's in your area. Go over and check that out. Again, we just covered a handful of events that still have registration open. So places where you can go and jump into a weekend event and have a ton of fun.
That's for sure. Man, I had to turn the heater off in here. It's getting hot and making my throat all jacked up. Going to sound like Barry White here in a little bit. All right, Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components and the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, plus surge tanks and pump modules, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to more than 3,000 horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high performance fueling. And again, just can't thank them enough. They're racing 2 cars at the circuit. We got Mark Campbell coming in, 850 killer. This is going to be really fun to see Mark Campbell come in because he has been 850 several times. Him taking on Brian Acton, our 3-time defending champion. Can Brian four-peat? It's going to really up the ante in that class a bunch. And one of the cars I'm most excited about is David Deech's personal 4G63 swapped to Volvo. This car right up my alley. I know Brandon Parker is going to be all over this thing with me as well. We're going to be standing there. We're probably going to have like steam on the windows because we're just staring at everything. So this is 4G63 stick shift. It's going to be awesome. Tom Bagley's coming. Dude, it doesn't get any cooler. And Deechworks helped make that happen as well. So it's going to be really fun. And, of course, they are our Racer Party sponsor. Dude, we would not be racing 40-mile-an-hour go-karts without Deechworks. How cool is that, man? I love it. It's going to be so much fun. Oklahoma Motorsports Complex on Saturday night of the circuit. This is going to be a brutal circuit. Everybody get sleep ahead of time. Do not thrash on your car for the circuit because it will be brutal. Do not do it, or do it and then just be prepared to live on caffeine for the weekend. So it's going to be pretty awesome. But Mark Campbell actually posted yesterday. He said, I won't spill the beans, but the YouTube video is coming. But we got Clay Milliken's hot rod rolling tonight at Holly Springs Motorsports Park. Hard to get a 5,500-pound truck rolling, but we nailed several PBs tonight after a few hits on the struggle bus. 3 PBs in a row to end the night. Again, if you guys don't know,
awesome.
Dude, it's so awesome. Clay Milliken, this is his son's truck. They named Dentley. This truck is being built to be a street truck. You can see the license plate on it. And we know we are expecting to see this truck at a drag and drive at some point in the future. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Tom Bagley there. Yeah, I'm already aching just looking at that go-kart track. World-class facilities, supposedly. They hosted world championships here and everything like that. So it should be pretty fun. And again, big shout out to Deechworks for all the stuff they do. And shout out to Mark Campbell for getting Bentley one step closer to seeing that first drag and drive. I'm so excited about that.
Drag week?
Oh, how cool would that be? Dude.
Can we push them to come to drag week? I don't know what the NHRA schedule looks like. Obviously, that's going to be something he's got to work around.
I'll go pick his truck up and bring it. Hey, just show up, dude. All you gotta do, arrive and drive.
I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right, so tell us about some Car Change 3D stuff.
All right, Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift they can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce one-off keychains for that special person's special car. Find more at carchains3d.com or on social media by searching Carchains 3D on Facebook or Instagram. Again, custom car keychains is where he started, to in-dash screens, mounts, all kinds of roll bar lights, pretty much anything 3D printed you need. Corey can definitely get you hooked up with that.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And he's dude, every day he's posting some new videos, something. They have a new square body dash panel that's going in. That's primo stuff. This week's topic though. So Joe Haney posted this, and I thought was really, really a good insight to what most drag and drive or drag racers or car guys can deal with, right? So he said, I'm having a hard time with this decision. As Rachel and I enjoy our hobby of drag racing, we have learned a lot and continue to grow. With that, we built her a new truck, which is now our primary primary race vehicle. That leaves the Nova with no purpose other than cruising and having fun, which isn't really a problem. He said, however, I want to do something else. Having a vehicle with high horsepower that is more attuned to the highway, corners, and high speeds is something that I would like. The Nova just isn't that. While it's a good pro touring vehicle, it can't be tracked, right? So, road course type stuff, which is something I would like to do. So now what? Do I spend a ton of money to make the Nova do that? Or do I send her down the road and buy something more inclined to that style of driving from the start? If she goes, it'll be a sad day. I've spent countless hours driving, racing, improving, and loving on this car. How can I just, and I felt this. He said, how can I just sell or trade it? That's the way I felt he typed that out. If you know the meaning of the graphics and understand to get the true value of the car and know that we will have to come off, you'll know that'll be a sad day. The easy solution is just buy a car. But he said, I don't have the room or the budget. Help me. Help me. So, of course, I made my suggestion, buy a cheap platform and build it and just keep the Nova. Which he replied to, that's been my initial thoughts. I really want an early 70s Firebird. And here's what got me: to keep ratty looking, but have the best suspension and modern drivetrain under the skin for autocross or track days, or maybe an old C3 Corvette or C5 Corvette, maybe a Gen 4 Camaro. But he said, I want to build a high RPM, naturally aspirated small block Chevrolet or LS for it. I just want to rip through, a stick shift with something that sounds nasty around some corners. The hard part about that, again, is where do you store the Nova? Where do you store your truck? So I wanted to ask your thoughts. I mean, you know what I say. I say more project cars, but that's not always the right answer. Steven Narks knows. He just made a comment in here. He knows how hard it is. You just keep stacking project cars. It gets pretty tough because then at some point, every one of them needs a little bit of work, which we talked about this the other night with Mike Finnegan. So what are your thoughts, man?
I'm kind of on board with you. I wouldn't want to get rid of this car. I think he could do some of the things he wants to do with this car. Obviously, he had mentioned it would cost money, but you would still you wouldn't lose the drivability or highway things that he's looking for to turn this into an autocross car. There's another orange Nova, and I can't think of the name of who drives it, but it's an autocross car that we've seen at Dragon Drives before. So absolute worst case, no, don't sell it. Build this into what you want to build it in. But if you have the ability, the Nova and the truck stay in the garage, you get a ratty Firebird or whatever he's looking about. That can sit outside while you build it until, that eventually becomes into a larger project like we all do. But then it becomes the maintenance piece, right? How do you maintain 3 vehicles?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a struggle. And I think I'm with you. I think having the Nova down on some wider tires and a good setup would be pretty cool. Because again, just like you said, you could do that. And if you think about it, like a high revving, naturally aspirated small block, you can put that in here too. But in anything else, like let's say you have a $10,000 budget. Where is your $10,000 going to go further? Is it going to go further with the Nova because you already have it, or is it going to go further because you've built something?
Right. And this is a great comment here. This was my other thought here. Is Miatas are cheap. A Miata with an LS. I mean, the 240 that I've got in the garage with an LS, like those are. I mean, that car is full suspension that I've got out there. It's got every adjustable suspension piece that you can put on a 240. And then it's got an LS and a T56. So, that's another option. Get a small car like a Miata or a Nissan or something like that. And just, again, the problem is that car that I've got can autocross. I can, drive it wherever. So then what do you do with the Nova? Because if you've got 2 cars that you can just drive around, which one are you going to jump in? So that's where it becomes tough, because I think the Nova, again, can be what he's looking for. And if he's replacing parts, you can always hold on to those parts. And if you want to switch it back, you can switch it back. So I don't know. Yeah. That is a very, very tough call.
Right. And especially with the car that has that much kind of history and all that.
The one answer I can say is do not sell it. Do not sell the Nova. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. So yeah, again, and I always use the analogy of like it could be a base run. So like go out and see if you even like doing that kind of driving style in the Nova, and then you have your baseline, and then the upgrades you make, you could see what they do as you go along.
Yeah, because doing suspension on that Nova, it's going to cost obviously some money, but it's going to drive great going down the highway, so that's not going to change anything, And if you have to stiffen it up for like some autocrossing, just have another set of shocks or coilovers that when you don't want that, you just swap them back out. Obviously, that seems like a lot of work, but I mean that's an easy thing to do.
Hey, hold on. I've got to take a phone call real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Yep. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm kind of leaning towards just making the Nova what Joe's looking for. I think that you don't want to get rid of it, and it would just be a fun car to do some suspension work and still drive it around and have fun with it. Take it to autocross and just make it that multi-purpose car. Because you're not going to see many Novas doing the autocross type stuff, so you're still going to have that uniqueness that you're looking for. We'll hear T56 to hold any kind of power is going to be a big chunk of the budget too. Yeah, I mean it just depends on what kind of power he's looking, obviously, And bucket list mob here, 100% build the Nova. So good comments for sure. Tom, agree. Keep it and spend the money on making it do what you want. And again, like Tom says, there's too much history in it, and I agree with that. I'd hate to see that go. So good topic there. Definitely appreciate everybody's input in that conversation as well. And another good point, bucket list here, suspension for a Firebird would be the same cost. So, and Steven knows he's got plenty. Keep cars, projects running, driving as much as possible. Agree with that. All right. So that was our topic there for Car Change 3D. Appreciate Corey for being part of the team here with us at Drag Drive Repeat. Again, anything that you need for mounting electronics, mounting lights, anything like that, hit Corey up. He can get you that for your vehicle. And bucket list, yeah, a road race Nova would be awesome. There's not too many of those. Like I said, I've only seen a couple, but they look pretty awesome. Low to the ground and taking left and right turns. All right, so we're probably about halfway through the morning here. Again, appreciate all of our race car friends for tuning in. I'd say it every week, but Saturday shows are one of my favorites. Just it's a great way to get up in the weekend and talk to race car friends, talk about race cars and all the events upcoming. So appreciate all of you guys tuning in here with us, and couldn't do it without our sponsors here: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Change 3D, and now Low Dollar Motorsports, PowerTube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And so Molly Motorsports here. I'll hit this video and then we'll run through our Molly segment.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together, so all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
All right. So we talked a little bit about, with Rich Guido, about whether the stick shift class should be split into two groups. A reel dropped from us on that conversation, and it sparked a bunch of debate. So Keith Turk really hit that one on the head, and he said, my thoughts are whatever you come up with, it has to be easy to tech, like H pattern versus everything else. I own a clutchless H pattern, but I happen to use the clutch just hard to tech anything else. So again, if you're going to split up stick shift, I agree with Keith. It's got to be something that can be easy to tech.
Oh, 100%. Sorry about that. Had a call from Keith at Tulsa Raceway Park there. It's opening day and they want to make sure all the stuff is ready to go. Yeah, I agree 100%, man. Keith really has had a whole different mindset on that when we were talking to him. And like Bryant Morris said, meanwhile, some promoters can't figure out how to get a decent car count. These are good problems to have because we have other events that had like, well, we're going to talk about the circuit count here in a minute. He said, I personally like the basic streetcar rules, full interior, exhaust exit location, factory fuel tank, all factory glass, things that separate the true race cars from the more budget built cars. There will always be someone who has the ideal car, but that would narrow it down a lot. I thought that was pretty good insight. And then Damon Elf said a way this could be divided is by clutch used, which is what a lot of people had said as well. He said adjustable clutches versus diaphragm clutches. Every car that has an adjustable clutch will have a window or access panel in their bell housing to access the clutch. He said it's pretty easy to put a mirror under there or poke your head in while they're on jack stands. Diaphragm clutches do not have external levers with weights and or any way to adjust the base pressure of the spring. And again, another good way, because again, Keith is right. Like if you have 400 cars and it takes 2 minutes per car to tech, that's 800 minutes that you're going to be teching cars. You don't need to add another 3 minutes so you know that tech guy can slide down under and get under a car that's sitting there in line. So pretty good conversation. And just like, what was Rich Guido saying there?
He just said, great debate because stick shift guys are creative.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, again, we don't know the answer to this question is kind of the whole thing I'm wrapping my head around, but we're going to be watching it really close at the circuit. We have 19 racers signed up for the stick shift class. I'd love to be able to somehow kind of, I don't want to say it, I don't want things to become a participation trophy, but with 19 or 25 or 56 people at an event that are in a stick shift class, if you're a insert X racer, that you have no chance. But at the same time, like, that's kind of why our U versus U or the DYO class becomes a catch-all, because it's everybody can be competitive in that. So maybe that's the way it's split. It's like a traditional all-out class and then a DYO class for people that want to be consistent. I don't know. We want to give people something to shoot for, but don't want to make it too hard either.
Right. Definitely good thought process, good conversations to have around that stuff.
Yeah. ET would be good. I think if you're really trying to find the quickest car, you could break it down by cage limitations. You could have a 10.0 and slower. You could have an 850 and slower. I think 10.0 and slower is probably more realistic as far as the big events go.
Yeah.
10.0 and quicker, 10.0 and slower type deal. Anyways,
sure.
So Howard's Cams, bro. Big shout out to Luke B. He's going to be on the show on 4/8, which I'm pumped about having him back on. Dude, it's been months since we've had him on. I think it was like October or November, so it's been almost 6 months since he's been on here.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, it could be kind of fun.
Let's hit this video and we'll talk about our community segment here with Howard's Cams.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend, Luke B, for your next valve train upgrade.
Did you see Rich Guido's comment there? Sorry, about the last section there. We were talking about stick shift racers for the folks that missed it, but and a class for fast and slow and all that kind of stuff. He said DYO stick shift class. That dude could probably win that thing.
Probably, which is crazy to think about a tight spread in a DYO class in a manually shifted vehicle.
Yeah,
that takes talent.
Takes talent for sure. All right, well, let's talk about some of the stuff we got going on here. I hope you guys saw this, but Jamie Mackey bought a new car. You guys will know her from the '59 Rambler wagon that she tows the camper with, or the Mackey family guys. They are Falcon racers. They brought like 5 of them, I think, to Mega Week. They're longtime Rocky Mountain Race Week, longtime drag weekers, the Sick Week, all this kind of stuff. They're drag and drive royalty essentially, but sounds like she wanted a new fun car. It's probably going to be a new daily driver, maybe, or new builder. I don't know. We didn't get that info in there. I need to message her and find out. But they flew to Texas from Colorado, and her and husband Brian drove this back home.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. It was a blast. So they had a couple things. They do a lot on Cut and Grind Garage on TikTok, a lot of videos over there. And so they were pulled over in O'Reilly's. They were switching out air filters and all kinds of fun stuff. So super
And
cool car. ESV coupe. I'm in.
And stopped at Cadillac Ranch and a few others on the route back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring it on, man. I'm excited. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. That'd be a fun daily driver.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in. All right. Tell us about what's going on at Big 3 Racing, sir.
Yeah, so Heads Up Hustle, Big 3 Racing is going to be hosting a pizza party Saturday night. They're going to have free pizza and drinks for racers and a few lift bays open so that they can work on their cars. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Again, Big 3 Racing, big thanks to Chuck Stefanski, Rick Trunkett, and Bob Hess Jr. for opening their new shop at Dragway 42 to help all the Heads Up Hustle racers. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, this is exciting because we're going to have this will be, obviously we're racing Dragway 42, but to have this on Saturday night, but then also to have Mountain Motor Machine hosting their racer party on Friday night with a cruise night and everything. So like if you had to work on your stuff, Heads Up Hustle is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, Tom back, you got to bounce. Yeah. See you, buddy.
Yeah, being right there at the track, brand new facility, that's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that stuff. I've been nudging Keith to like, hey man, if we built a building in the back, do you think a shop would come on board? Now that the dirt track is not opening, we have a perfect opportunity for storage or / a shop building right over there where that place stood.
Yeah, plenty of room there.
Yeah. The Great American Detour is working towards becoming a legitimate drag and drive. Now, we've talked about this being drag and drive friendly for a long time. In conversations with Robert Voss this week, again, the Great American Detour is the cross country drag and drive. We've been calling it that, but it wasn't. You chose your own racetracks across the way, but Robert has been working with tracks. He's been working hard to get tracks lined up that you could actually go to. And now they're talking about maybe doing a couple track rentals. And so this could work out. If it works out as planned, it'll elevate the event from just a legendary trip. I'm telling you, this is going to be crazy. New York to LA in drag and drive cars is going to be awesome. And it'll be a full-blown drag and drive. So he's looking at 3 different tracks. Right now, he has 2 locked in that will let us come in and do this, working on a 3rd. And so if he does that, dude, it changes it to a regional drag and drive and, is on our list and historical and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of fun. I'm good luck to him. I'm excited to see what comes of this.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be super exciting. I mean, this obviously looks like it would be a ton of fun. Man, can you imagine all the cars driving from New York to LA?
Dude. It'd be so cool. What's really neat is the placement of the tracks he's working on puts it in a few days of each other. So technically, you could almost kind of block it off and be like, hey, here's the drag and drive part. If you wanted to do this, we're going to, these 3 tracks are here. But to win your class, you've also got to make it to California.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool, man. I'm excited about this.
That would be cool. Need to slap some GoPros in like a couple cars and record footage.
Yeah, 100%. That may be a good investment, is buying like 6 or 8 GoPros.
Here saying that's great news, making it easier for us. Yep.
Yeah, locking tracks in will be a great thing. Will be really, really helpful. All right, and then the last story here in this, James Desrat posted in the Rocky Mountain Race Weekers group. He said, hoping to have it on mounts this weekend. Car is ridiculously heavy still, and honestly, 400 pounds heavier than our goal for where we want to be at for the NA power we are expecting to make with this combo. But full interior street car with AC and heater is what we wanted. He said, guess we will have to see if the rest of the car works together when it's completed. Went from running 18.3s last year with the original stock 318. And then it's got a Gen 3 6.4 Hemi in it now with overdrive and a 3,600 pound weight. So the goal was to run 10.0 class or naturally aspirated small block at Rocky Mountain Race Week this year. And I think the hell out of this. This is what we talk about all the time. People buying fun cars or buying cool cars and then upgrading them over time. So what's really fun is this dude has in this car an 18-second time slip, and then hopefully he will have a 10-second time slip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So super cool stories. Love these. If you guys have stories like this, man, let us know. Tag us in it. Tell us what's going on with it.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I love a good wagon.
Yeah, and especially ones that are weird. Like this one's kind of weird because you don't see this very often. I don't even know what it is. But I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell us what it is. But 4-door wagon now with a 6.4 Hemi in it. Bro, this thing's going to be awesome.
Right.
All right. Well, moving on to some racing junk stuff. Tell us what you got over there.
All right. So Racing Junk Classifieds is the official buy, sell, trade partner of Drag, Drive, Repeat and your go-to destination for everything from race cars to trailers, engines, and more. All right. So let me show you what I found this week. There was a couple new cars in the Drag and Drive category. So obviously last week I went and showed some just unique cars that were in our area. So this week we're back to some Drag and Drive cars. And the first one here, an 81 Dodge Aries K. So this one was kind of
Awesome.
unique.
Yeah.
I was like, this is interesting. Look at the blower on that thing.
I'm in. That's awesome.
So obviously sorted cage there. So this one was kind of interesting as I scrolled through it. It's a old NHRA car. Was updated by Diamond Racing and NHRA certed, but it's expired. 426 Hemi with a 425 bore, aluminum heads. It's a 872 Mooney hand blower, 7% underdrive and 7% overdrive pulleys. So big blower. You can see some other stuff in here. And he said, this was my dad's toy and I inherited it. I have all the receipts and specs, too much to list here. Car was once in Super Stock magazine when it was owned by the Bogus family with a 440 6-pack running 9s.
That's cool.
Thought that was kind of cool. Said it's titled in Michigan and most recently registered in 2023 in Michigan, but the car is located in Vegas.
That's cool.
So my question is this something that you think would be seen on a Drag and Drive?
I think with the blower that'd be pretty tough, but I love it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it the hard way, this is the way.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
so
cool
this one was a pretty unique one, but the fact that it was in a Super Street magazine I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the paint scheme.
It's got that old like retro like theme to it.
Yep. Yeah, some 80s Pro Street.
Yep. That was the first one. The second one here, this one was interesting. Pictures were a little rough on this one. But
pictures of pictures.
Yeah, right. Literally. But this one was in New York, so it got me kind of thinking with the Pistons and the Pines registration open up, this could be an option for somebody here. So it's
Wow.
car was set up for a power tour. Everything works, ready to cruise. Perfect weekend warrior car. Can run eighth or quarter. Everything's brand new, all steel glass windows, all lights and brake lights. Not a whole lot of information on it here. It's got 2 seats for cruising, 15-gallon fuel cell for driving, 25.5 mild steel, control arm front, 9-inch Ford, fully braced, Coney shocks and struts, wheelie bars, brand new, no passes.
What? There are literally pictures of it making passes.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know if they're saying that the motor was rebuilt or the car was rebuilt, but
oh, gotcha.
um, yeah, the
Interesting.
description's a little lackluster on this one.
Yeah. But hey, it's in the right part of the country, and you could buy it now and then have that thing ready for Pistons in the Pines in July.
Yeah, what was crazy is this was posted March 5th, and it has 3,200 views on it.
Dude. And
I
it's
was like, holy crap.
$74,000. Like, this is an expensive car,
Right.
and a lot of people are looking at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Cool.
pretty wild. So those were the 2 I found this week. Again, we've pretty much ran through everything that has been posted in the drag and drive category. So unless new things pop up, I'm going to find some other fun things just to do with
Yeah.
Racing Junk, because there are plenty of cars on Racing Junk outside of the drag and drive section. Obviously, if those are ones that are there, we're going to feature those first because they put that section together just for us. So as long as there's new vehicles in there, we'll continue to feature them. But if there's none new that we haven't shown, then we're going to find some other fun stuff and look at other cool cars that are posted on there.
Oh, man. Yeah, I love what you're doing with that. That's pretty fun. So big shout out to Tyler West and the team over there. That's it for the show today. Dude, Wednesday night's going to be awesome. I can't wait to have Nate on. That's going to be a good one. He's going to be a great guest. I can't wait for the conversations with him, just talking about streetcar bragging rights. I mean, dude, they're giving out like $250,000 this year, or $200,000 in cash payouts this year. Pretty incredible to be able to do that. So I can't wait to hear those stories. And then, we've talked about Jay at J-Wire and the updates they've had and things like that over the last few weeks. But to have him on and talk about, they leased another 700 square feet of the building they're in. I mean, just the growth they've seen over there is pretty incredible. So that'll be fun. That'll be Wednesday night.
Yeah, good question here. What about the weight loss challenge? Are you guys coming down? I think as a group, we came up with that we've lost almost 100 pounds, or if not just over 100 pounds total, with the group of people that we've got going right now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see that come around, and Matt Lang is really pressuring me to do something bigger with it, and that may happen. I think it's a good thing. One, because it's really it's a whole mental change, right? It's not the purpose of that. It's not a challenge. Like, it's not a how fast can I lose weight, because we know that doesn't work. I've done those in the past. We know that it won't stay off. But yeah, he said cheapest, hardest way to make the cars faster. That is true. I mean, if you start thinking about, you can make a decision on eating better or eating less of the bad stuff, whatever it can be. If you can drop 20, 30 pounds, what's that cost in a car to drop 20 or 30 pounds? So now you have more budget, because you can go to your significant other and go, hey, I've lost 20 pounds of my own body weight. Now, I've saved myself $1,000 in car purchase. I'm going to spend that $1,000 on car parts.
Right.
Waffle House Light.
What's been cool about that is literally I threw that idea to you like 5 minutes before one of our live streams, and we were just like, yeah, let's try it and see what happens. And together collectively, we've helped, I would think, lose 100 pounds. So it's just been a kind of a cool thing that like literally came from our prepping before the show. It was something that you and I were both talking about. You were trying to do some weight loss. I was trying to do some weight loss. And I was like, hey, what if we just involve all of our race car friends? And this is kind of what it's grown into. So been really cool to see.
Yeah, I love it. Speaking of the Waffle House Light, a buddy of mine that does my tattoos and stuff, he posted the other day at Waffle House, and I do the sausage bowl. I have crispy hash browns and the gravy and all that kind of stuff. That's going to have to change now, because I don't want to do that. But he posted up, I mean, dude had sausage and eggs and bacon and all that kind of stuff and still had his Waffle House fix. So I'm kind of,
Just got to cut the carbs, really.
Yeah. So just a change in mindset. And then the best part about the group is just the accountability. You're not answering to yourself, because I can tell myself, it's fine all the time, but it's hard to tell that to your buddies. So.
Yep.
All right. Send us out, man.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate all of our race car friends, everybody that hung out with us this morning. Again, I say it all the time, but I love the Saturday morning show. It's the best way to start your weekend, is talking about race cars to your race car friends. And again, appreciate all of our sponsors. We couldn't do this without them. Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Chains 3D, and our newest sponsor, Low Dollar Motorsports. Again, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday night.
Yep. Later, guys.